Breathless Knight and Recommission are two cards I've been asked a lot to build around over the last month. This deck key card is, of course, Breathless Knight, a creature that grows every time another one enters the battlefield from the graveyard with the likes of Recommission or Unearth. On top of that, we also run gates to provide a solid way to close games. Other key cards from the deck are Sacred Cat as a powerful and cheap attacker, Chaplain to pull our graveyard with value creatures, Strands to protect ourselves, and value creatures like Lunarch Veteran. Without a doubt, this is another exciting deck to try, and if you want to catch other competitive brews, remember to subscribe and give a like to the video. Without further ado, let's jump into the game. Our first match is going to be against Mono Blue, a deck that relies on sending instant sorceries to the graveyard to cast multiple turns through a single turn. Right now I will start playing my flying creatures, so they can't block with their ground ones like Fayali Archaeologist. I will attack for a couple of damage, and then we'll try and bait a counter with the first Breathless Knight. If they can deal with the second one, they are going to be in big trouble. So as it turns out, they didn't have any answer for it, and now they are going to flip their Delvers. If they attack, they are gonna have an ungrateful surprise because I can cast Prismatic Strand and protect my creatures. And now they put a blocker, but I remove it with Cast Down, and I have 3 attacks. So it's just a matter of time before I just find out Basilisk Gate. They play a Terror and an Archaeologist, but those things can't really block well with the flying creatures. They attack, and I just chump block to preserve my life total. I start playing my value engine, so that way I can dig further into my Basilisk Gates, which I just found. So it's just a matter of time before I can close this game, and my opponent is doing their best to not die and applying pressure. But as it turns out, I just had 2 little attackers, and we move to the second game. In game number 2, we bring in a couple of Nihil Spellbones to get rid of the graveyard, and while this doesn't actually answer the terrors, it's slow them enough so I can keep playing and adding threats to the board. Right now I will just play a Sacred Cat and pass the turn. Okay, my opponent's just not playing much, so I will start baiting counters. Luckily for me, I have a couple of ways to bring back those creatures, even if they get counter, and they only run 4 counter spell in total with a lot of force spikes I can play around. I will play my Breathless Knight, and even though they have a 2 Tolarian terrors, if I manage to grow the Breathless Knight enough, those things are pretty much useless at this point because they can't block the big flyer. I attack for 5, and now this is a race of who can kill the other first. I will keep adding creatures to the board, growing the Breathless Knight and attacking in the air. My opponent is looking for ways to nullify my gates, and Spring sees it's a way to do so, but not an efficient one, especially since I have a couple of other creatures that I can steal, like Scrapwork Moth. I attack with my flyers again, and now they are forced to chump block. They play more creatures, dig for answers, and keep applying pressure. But at this point, I can just afford taking 10 damage and start attacking in the air. My opponent blocks, and now they conceded. Alright, match number 2 is going to be against a deck that uses Duress on turn 1, which is very weird. So only combo decks tend to do so. So this is either Moggwarts or Cycling Storm, and my god is that this is Moggwarts. So right now we just add things to the board to start pressuring them, because one way to beat them is to actually be faster than them. So right now I'm gonna keep playing creatures, attacking, and if I can find an early Basilisk Gate, I can win the game, but they found their combo first. Against that deck, Nihil Spellbone is again a great card to have, as well as Dust to Dust to get rid of their lands. We are starting strong with a very fast hand, and so we are attacking in the ground. We also have a gate, which puts a lot of pressure on them. For now, we'll just start adding things to the board and attacking in the ground, just to force them to block and make some horrible trades for them. And also we have a Breathless Knight and our Chaplain, which means that I can grow the Breathless Knight a bit bigger in just a matter of turns. I attack in the ground, put them down to 4, and if they can't find the combo right now, they are dead. As it turns out, they seem to haven't found it, and they just considered it. Right, game number 3. And this is going to be not as fast as the previous ones because we both stumble a bit. However, I have a couple of interesting creatures, so I can attack with just my Lunar Veteran, and it doesn't matter if it dies because it can come back later. They played an interesting cyber card because most of my creatures are just a couple of 1/1s, but my cyber card, Nihil Spellbound, deals with their entire deck. So it's just a matter of sticking a Breathless Knight and taking over the game through the air. They keep getting rid of my battlefield, but I will just keep adding things to the board and attacking from here and there. They just keep getting rid of my creatures, and now I think they have handled the combo. So a way to do this is just to exile the Fruited Goblin from the graveyard, and that stops the combo entirely. So I will just keep attacking and applying some pressure in the air. Now they just tutor for another piece of the combo, and I will just play another Nihil Spellbound to keep safety valve in case they have double Putrid Goblin the next turn. So seems that they didn't go for that this turn, so it's good for us, because it means that I can fire a Dust to Dust and get rid of the lands. They are going to try and go for the combo for this time. Play the first Putrid Goblin, and now the second, and now this is game over because I got rid of 3 of those things and we move to the next match. This game is going to be against a cheap version of Boros Bully, or what it was known as Brute Squad, if I remember correctly. I will just play my creatures, and even if they kill them, I just can bring them back and multiple ways, and they can't really deal with that big flyer. So we move to the second game. For this, we are going to side in a couple of Dust to Dust, and that should be enough. Opponent is starting strong, and to play a couple of Frogmites, but we get rid of them with Dust to Dust, and now they are empty-handed almost. A single Breathless Knight should be able to take this game, and with 2 Basilisk Gate on the field and a couple of ways to get the Breathless Knight, this game is over.
Now, if you're new to Pauper and want to test other cool decks, click into that playlist. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.